Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, greetings, Will. Greetings, everybody.
hello, hello.
Oh yeah, Billy. Billy, where
How
are you?
I'm down in my shed.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah. Brilliant.
With the vein in my life.
I have to ask you, what's the weather like in Wexford?
Fucking freezing. Although now, in fairness, today it's misty rain stuff, so it's not as cold.
Mm-hmm.
A change yesterday, but for the last 2 or 3 nights, I was meant to come down to the shed and get stuck in again.
It's rather timely because you sent that video, which I'm going to be putting on our little web page for our feature of you going to pick up this car, and it was about this time of year, and it was freezing in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah. So Billy, gives a recap about your car. Where did you find it, and how did you come across it? Because I know Jim and I did quite a lot of research. We only found about 14, I think it was, cars that were still registered or not necessarily on the road, and I think about 40 chassis in total were built. So they're very, very rare. So it's very lucky you got one. Just tell us a recap. It's in the previous videos. Just a recap of how you managed to get hold of one.
No problem. I had found one. This stage now was probably 15 years ago. But I couldn't afford it at the time.
Was that the Irish Stout one?
No. That's
a red one.
Different story.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
This was up in Ashbourne. It was outside of Dublin. I don't know how I actually made contact with this guy, to be honest with you. I was just word of mouth. And basically, I couldn't afford it. I offered a lot of money and fucking me Jeep and everything. I just couldn't get there. So I kind of left it and got over it and fucking moved on. And then friends of mine who worked in the company at the time building the cars, they had bought one off of the Thompsons that had been crashed in 2014. That sat and was stripped, and he had a few of them. So that was used to get another car up on the road again.
It's like a donor. Yeah,
the engine and stuff like that. But the guys had built the cars, so they knew the crack. So they bought it in 2020. And with that, I was down there, like you know what I mean, like a bullet, just to have a look, whatever. And I kind of got me going and interested again. And I rang the guy. I still had his phone number. I didn't know who it was, so I went through all these odd names and I rang him. And the minute he answered the phone, I knew it was him. It was just really Dublin accent. And just chatting to him. He said, "Yeah, I remember you looking for a car and you offered it." He said, "Now you do know I was selling that for a friend of mine." I said, "No, I didn't actually know that." He said, "No, it wasn't me." He said, "He's since passed, but he said the car has been sold." He said, "Only about a year ago." And I said, yeah. And he said it was basically for a lot less than what you were asked. And I asked him, would you have...
Bet you were gutted.
I was gutted, yeah. But I asked him, I said, you wouldn't have the guy's number. He said, Jesus, he said, that's a year ago. But he said, if I have it, I'll send it on to you. And he did. A couple of days later, he sent it on. He said, that was the number, but they're still in use. Anyway, rang this guy. He answered the phone. He was a bit bewildered me ringing him out of the blue. And I got chatting to him, and he said, there's a guy in Cork. He said he has a WhatsApp group dedicated to the owners of TMCs. And he said, there's his number. And he said he's highly strung about the cars. He said his car was the Murphy's Irish Stout. His dad bought it off Murphy's Irish Stout with Cork.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. And so I rang him, and your man was really into it. The car is still developing the car, this, that, and that. But anyway, he had 2 cars. So I kept that in, and I kept sending the pictures as the lads here in Castleridge were rebuilding the crash car. And he never saw, it was Michael and Peter Murphy, and he never saw the bare bones of the cars. So I was able to send them on the pictures. The whole front corner was gone off the car. And with that, then the lads had just finished to come up to Christmas. It must have been, it was the end of 2020. And they were just finishing tacking all the front end up. And I sent them on the picture. And I said, have a great Christmas, John. And And if you're ever thinking of selling that car, send me on, put me first in the queue, and laughing emojis, and left it at that. And he rang me. I started building my home bar then. You know, we're in full lockdown. I started building my bar then, and he rang me Stephen's Day, and he put it to me. He said, "Listen, I was chatting to my wife. You're fairly well besotted with cars. I think it's a good thing that I offer to you for sale." And I said, "You serious? I nearly fell. I got weak. I couldn't believe it. Like, and he said, John, it's Christmas. Like, I wouldn't have." He said, "It's not for sale." I said, "I'd sell it to you." So he said, "It's up to yourself. Think about it." Of course, I went in and said it to my wife. She said, "When are you going for?" I said, "Hold on. I said, "Where am I going to get that kind of money?" And so I had the full planning permission then at that stage. So I said, "Right, I'll get the money." And we went back to work, and I went in. I got the money, and the third lockdown then was starting, and it was coming in. I was afraid in my life he'd change my mind, basically. I was afraid he'd change his mind. So I got it. I acted that week, got me money, and I said the third lockdown in Ireland was coming in that Friday at 5 o'clock. And I said, right. So I went to my boss and I said, "Listen, I want to take a half day. I need to get to Cork, collect this car." And that's what I did. And I got it home then, and I was just happy out. And
where did you hide it?
I was going to say, you were telling me that when you went to pick it up with your trailer, there was road blocks and road checks in place at that time as well because of COVID, wasn't there? Tell us about that. Yeah.
And this is the truth now. I didn't just say that in the message to you. I went through eight guard or police checkpoints on the way down. Where are you going? Because we had letters in our work vans for essential services, delivery to different.
I did with my car as well because I was working in healthcare then. But if you got stopped with no excuse, you came up with a great one, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, as I said, I had to get down to get a machine for the COVID centre. So I was coming to the car.
By the way, are you standing in your COVID center right now?
Yeah.
Has he been vaccinated?
Yeah. But like that was the story. And there was no problem. And as I said, on the way back, there was, I think it was 4 or 5 on the way back. And it was getting dark. You know, it was winter. It was dark through a lot of the last 4. Yeah. But the last
you're quite away from Cork as well. You're quite away from Cork.
It's about 2.5 hours, like.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. But on the last checkpoint, I was just outside of Wexford town, and the tarpaulin that was covering the car. By the time I got home, half the car, of course, was on tarpaulin, so you could see the whole side of a car. But got to the chat, and I couldn't believe it. There was 4 or 5 squad cars and stuff. You know, it was a big checkpoint on the main road, like. And
serious, yeah,
there was, yeah. And I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm coming from Cork, just getting a machine for work." He said, "Yeah, that's fine." And he waved me on, and as he waved me on,
he gave you
half the car. Half the car was visible, and I was just looking in me side mirror, like, and you could just see him following the whole run of the car like that, going. I couldn't believe it.
That's not a COVID machine. No.
The fantastic thing about being Irish is you got the best stories.
Yeah, well, it's the truth, though. But it was just a little twist. I was delighted. I was on cloud 9. I couldn't believe it.
We call it the look of the Irish as well.
Yeah. It was a long time coming, though.
Yeah, you've been. I say you've been so lucky. You missed out on the first one. We're gutted, and then it's come up again. It was meant to be. It's just the luck of the Irish, and you've certainly got it in you, Billy.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And as I said, the guy who got that one that I missed out on, he actually never got around. He had hassles with health and stuff, so he couldn't do it. So that's actually after making his way back to the next village up. So that's actually being done at the minute. So there's another one back in the Castleberry vicinity. Yeah.
Wow.
There'll be another one on the road.
Yeah. There'll be a good few, I'd say, in the next. I said there's a few lads have them, but they're young. One lad's after getting married, so there's a house and all that. So they are coming along. So in the next probably 3 or 4 years, 3 anyway, there should be 4 or 5 around the village. Do you know what I mean?
I must admit, I have never seen one in the flesh. I've been to a lot of car shows, and I've never ever seen a TM Costin at any of the shows. I don't know. I'm on several groups.
You know what's interesting? I mean, when they were first branded, a lot of people came up with a fantastic design, so light, but some people didn't care for the way they present themselves, and a lot of people were quite vocal about it. But I look at the pictures of them, and I think they're just absolutely gorgeous.
Well, the back end of them, a lot of people didn't like the back end of them. For me, I like square. I liked Mark 1 Ford Fiestas. I like squarish cars. Yeah. But the front end was lovely. The back end could have been a little bit more tweaked, but I liked this. It reminded me of a Mark 1 Ford Fiesta with a back spoiler on the boot.
I think that's where I think it's fabulous. Yeah,
I do as well. And I know we talked about it. If anybody wants to catch up on the previous series, that they will be out. Well, they are already out there. We talked about the size of the boot and the rumble seats as well. And I know when we're speaking to Sean Thompson.
Yeah, we'll probably edit into this video Sean's dialogue about how he used to go with his girlfriend and being carrying a passenger in the boot. So yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Now that'll do. That'll do it. So coming in the door, and I have my car sitting pretty. I bought it in January.
I was going to say, looking at that, because it's pretty much all fiberglass apart from the alley side panels, wasn't it?
Yeah. I bought it in January 21, and it was a car, but it was underneath. It was a lot of bars were rotten. I'd say I had lived in a yard or something. I wasn't kept inside anyway.
I think you said you replaced about 50 foot worth of tube, haven't you?
Yeah. There's the suspension bits I've sprayed today.
Was that especially for the show?
No. This is especially to get me back into it, because I've cleaned up the shed just to, the way when you go away from a project, you leave it.
John, I think it's especially for the car. Can I ask you, Billy? Can I ask you, Billy, a question? When you got the car, when you received the car, was it stripped down to its space frame, and then you're in the process of reassembly now, or what?
No. When I bought the car, it was complete. Now there was no engine or gearbox in it, so I had to locate them first and foremost. So I bought the engine off Sean, and which was out of a Costin, and I got the gearbox then.
What engine and gearbox you going with?
Type 9 5-speed gearbox, and the engine then is a CVH. The engine is a CVH. It came out of one of the last Costins made.
So that's what they ended. A lot of them ended up with CVH engines. Well, apart from the Ford twin cams as well. But nice. Yeah, Sean
is doing his own project, so I bought his engine and he didn't need it. So it saved me an awful lot of hassle trying to, because I literally, when I bought the car, I loved the idea of having one, but I hadn't a clue about them. I didn't know Sean Thompson. I knew of Sean Thompson. I heard of their brothers. The only guy I knew was Michael, and he would have been telling me the stories when he was obviously in his 20s, having the crack on race days and different good times, and I was just listening to those stories, which kind of engraved in me, Jesus, imagine having one of these cars from your own village and getting a chance to own this and do it up.
That shot you've got there, I can see all the chassis rails, and that's how Frank got he's got 3 triangulation bits for the car.
Oh, that beautiful triangulation. It's amazing. Yeah.
So it reduces all the flexing in the middle between the front and the back of the car.
Isn't it? I mean,
absolute work of art.
Sean, is that all square?
If you look at the picture, if you look at the shot Billy is showing you now of the interior, you see that raised chassis section in the middle where effectively the underside of your knees.
Mm-hmm.
The car, because in any kind of open cockpit car, you have all the torsional rigidity is lost in the middle, because obviously you need to have occupants in the car.
Yeah, it's like a shoebox.
So Frank came up with this concept here to raise the center part, because it was in a dead area anyway, because obviously you need to sit in the car. So this amazingly increase the torsional stiffness of the car, you know. And we had a university graduate did a wireframe torsional stiffness check in UCD on the car, and it was amazing how much that section added to the torsional stiffness, you know, of the car.
I was going to say, and what with the aluminium side panels will add a little bit. Are they riveted on or bonded on? Well, it would have been riveted, I would assume, in the old days.
Bonded on the side. Bonded on the side,
yeah.
Yeah,
riveted along the top here.
It's similar, similar to what GBS are doing. They're bonding all there. Yeah. Well, it's all aluminium on the side of GBS cars. Mm-hmm. I mean, our MK's fiberglass, but yeah.
The bonding available now is obviously much better than the bonding then, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the back of the car. I have the back.
So the rear suspension.
You don't have the rumble seat back there.
No.
I'm gonna see if I can find some pictures on that. I know I read it somewhere.
I know. John is. I think
that was just a sales pitch now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, but I don't think the seats. That was never a thing.
No.
Yeah. I think as you said. Yeah. I think you said last time, Bill, it was just an advertising thing, a 2+2, but. Really, it wasn't. Yeah. It was a 1 plus a bit of shopping in the boat, or a girlfriend.
Well, that's something, though. I mean, when you look at a 7, I mean, I don't have any room in my boot. I mean, I could throw in a couple of grocery bags, and that is it. You know.
Yeah. And like, is a petrol tank normally in the back of the 7s? As aware as
they are. Yes.
Yeah. So when I do my shopping, like I used to do the COVID shopping for. I was known as amongst our friends as the warden during lockdown in our house, because I knew that I knew it was coming. I could feel it in the air, and so I was the crazy guy who went to the Home Depot, and I said, do you have a really big freezer? I need an extra freezer. I've got a couple of them, and I need another one for the garage. And so they would say, isn't that interesting? We do have one left, but we've had a run on them today. And it was loading up we have a spare room, which was an office, and loaded it to the ceiling with paper goods like toilet paper and stuff like that. So I was doing all that. But to keep my sanity, I would go and do all the food shopping in my 7.
You were known then as a panic buyer then, John.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with a smile on my face.
Yeah, well, that's it. You got to go for a spin in the car, which was, as I said, I'm looking forward. I haven't been at the car now in probably a month. I was just getting the stuff done around the house. Yeah. So the plan now, I came down today to do it, but sure, I cut down 3 trees, so that's the way it goes. So
tell us about your plan and tell us about your car, where you are, because you're pretty close now to getting it back on the road, aren't you? I think.
I am, yeah. It does run. It's kind of there. It
looks great. It looks absolutely fabulous.
The stripes are on it.
Oh, I haven't seen the stripes before. Let's have a look at those.
That's what I was referring to. Oh, it just looks gorgeous, Louis. It looks so gorgeous.
It's. I'm trying to see now. Can I make it work for you? But it's the stripes come along.
And you have the Murphy Stout on the back.
No, it's not. This is nothing to do with the Murphy Stout car.
Okay. Yeah.
This is his other. This was the other car.
That looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
That's a Wexford. See the ZR on the back.
Yeah.
That's an 80s. That's a Wexford registration as well. That ZR means it's from County Wexford.
Oh, is that right?
So,
I like the back end of them, especially the little spoiler lip on the top there. Looks very much like a.
I just put that in.
If that was in North America, that would be, or in BC where we live, that would look like a privatized plate, and a lot of people in British Columbia would interpret that as being a 2000 a ZR14
Yes.
motorcycle engine.
Yes,
would be a complete blast.
But as I said, those lights, they originally had square lights here in the back.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
they were horrendous looking things.
Yeah.
So they're actually Land Rover high cap lights. That's what they are.
Yeah, that's what you've got on the that's what you've got on the back of our Land Rover Discovery, and they definitely look better than the big square ones. What have you done on the front?
It's just something. Let me see now. No, I tell you what I done on the front here. I basically, let me see. Can I show you? See in here. See the little indicator.
Better. Yeah.
There. So that's the only LED on the car. That's basically it's a bit of an exhaust pipe, and I cut it and I stepped it so I can bolt up my light through it. It's bolted from the underneath. So that just have a washer here, and it's just they're only pop in, pop out. So they just pop in. They're an easy replacement if I needed to replace it. And I still have to drill my headlights and put in my parking light. I want to put the parking light into the headlight. It's because I've the wiring in, but I haven't got the parking lights done. So I have a little list to do, but it's not an awful list.
Not major. Because I know on some of the other TMC Costins, they had the indicators on the front fenders, which kind of like didn't really sit right. And they were square, weren't they, on the front?
They were rocking looking things. I still have the original ones, but as I said, I made my own front mud guards. And so I want to
made,
it's gonna look great.
Gonna look great.
So I have the framework on. I just need to. I want to finish off brakes and stuff, and then I'll mount the mud guards then from up underneath.
And you're gonna bond those on or bolt them on. Ours are bonded on, and they're never coming off.
But mine here. You see, I put in round bar, so I have I've made clamps, and when I was making the mud guards, then I put in bolts molded into the mud guards.
Okay.
So they'll fit down, and I'll have my little U lad here then to clamp it tight with fitted on rubber here.
It'll look good.
So as I said, it's I'm what would you say? A friend of mine was down over New Year's. He was down here, a couple of the camper crowd. So we went back at the wire. So I had forgot when we were wiring the car. I forgot to put in hazard light switch.
Oh yeah.
So I put that. We got that put in, and the fact that I had LEDs on the front of the car, then I had to change the LED relay, and I was getting back feed then. I got a bit of hassle with the light on the dash not flashing right. It wouldn't even flash. So I had to put in little non-return diodes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But that's just another thing sorted. So now my list is fairly short now, I have to say.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter
do you actually rewire the whole car? I mean, how did the car come? How did the car come? I don't think it came with an engine, and you got that offshore, was it?
Yeah. No, there was no engine, no gearbox, no brakes,
and it had been sitting out in the rain for so long. You wouldn't want to use any of that anyway.
No, it was just the bare bones of the car. It was a steering
chassis,
wheel.
Chassis with the steering wheel, basically. Yeah.
It'd be interesting when you're all finished to put it up on a scale to see how much it does weigh.
That's another thing. Yeah. But though I had to source a lot of stuff. And I said, I went being the way I kind of think. I got the engine, the gearbox first. Then I located brakes, actually off Sean as well, because there were Chevette brakes and stuff. So I got a lot of stuff, and then the steering rack, I just refurbed it. What else did I have to get? Oh yeah, then I reconditioned the engine I had to decide then with the side draft carbs. I was trying, like my bonnet, whatever engine was in it, the bump in the bonnet didn't suit what I got.
Yeah.
So I had to reshape the bonnet for myself.
Oh yeah.
And no matter what I was doing then, with a single carb on the CVH engine, it kind of sits up high
Mhm.
in your air filter box. And the
Yeah.
more I tried to make a shape out of cardboard, the bigger the bump looked, and it just looked horrendous. So
Yeah.
I had a chat to Sean, and he said, "Well, you've only one way of doing that." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Side drafts." I said, "Fuck,
Yeah.
hell, the cost of that now on top of it."
Yeah.
I wasn't
But you
prepared
did
for
it
it.
anyway. Yeah. Well, this
Yeah,
is the
no,
part that
that's
always
kind of why it's
interests me.
after.
Everybody who owns a 7 or owns a kit car goes through the same dilemma.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned it at the beginning of the show. You snuck it home, hoping that the wife wouldn't find out.
Yeah.
And I know that when I bought mine, I told my wife, but we've got this cadre of friends, and they're all totally against it. In fact, some of them said, "Whatever you do, don't let him buy that car."
Yeah. But when I went in to tell Sharon about your John offering me the car, I was there going, "Where am I going to get this money?" And the first thing she had said to me is, "When are you going to get it?" I said,
"Oh,
where
that's
am I going to
lovely."
get the money? Well, I couldn't believe it, but
well, you better keep that one.
Yeah, no, I will. But as I said, it was I wasn't expecting, but she knew how fucking besotted I was.
How passionate you were about it.
Yeah.
So it was just one of
that's
those
how my
things,
wife dealt with it too. It's just like she'd rather give up on a friendship of someone rather than try to dissuade me from my passion.
Now, as I said, she just wants me to have a fucking finish now because it's dragging on now. Like I'm at it a long time, but I have to try and remind her as well. I'm trying to keep a house going and keep everything going as well. And
you did build the bar.
Yeah,
you got the. Yeah.
And I'll be in it now in about
priorities. You got your priorities. You got the car and you got the bar.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Yeah, when she throws you out the house, you can go in the bar and look at your car. I don't see a
feel
problem.
sorry for myself. But no, as I said, I'm enjoying it. As I said, today now is the first day. Like when I was doing up Land Rovers and I was doing up, let's say, my Volkswagens, you know the way you get a lax and you go away from a thing and you leave it.
Yeah.
She'd go off and she'd buy me a magazine, and I'd read the whole articles. And next thing, it just fires you up and gets you going again. But with this, you couldn't. So I was just going on the internet and looking for archives.
And that's
call down some of the lads and you'd have a chat. That's what I did this week now.
Just like what we're doing right now, actually.
Best way to do it. Yeah, best way to do it. If it's not going well or you're having problems with the car and can't get something, walk away from it.
I'm more interested with the problems with the wife.
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah.
I'm grand that way, Jim. You don't worry about yourself.
Will you be taking her out in the boot, or will you let her sit in the passenger seat?
Oh my God!
Well, she doesn't know whether she's going to be able to get into it now. Fucking first and foremost, because she doesn't be great with she's a lot of she'll just be broke up as well as says a little bit. But it'll be. I have to try and get her in past that exhaust.
Yes, because the exhaust. Yeah.
That's on the passenger side, so I might not. Like I'll see.
She will know when she puts her leg against that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So 77 owners, you only got to look at when they're wearing shorts at shows or whatever. You can tell they're a 7 owner because they've got still a big red welt on the side of their leg.
Yeah. Well, you can do.
It's a pity it's not down the driver's side now. I would have preferred, but anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's better for the driver because there won't be as much noise for you.
Well, that's true, and I'd probably be in it most of the time on my own anyway. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask you now, Billy. We didn't touch on it before. What is your background? Because you've rebuilt this car. You've done all the welding. You've rebuilt the engine. You've also done your own paint spraying. What is your background? Are you a mechanical engineer? You've got a garage?
No, I'm a plant hire. Yeah, a plant hire. I fix tools, machines. Diggers, dumpers, consoles, tangos.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since 1993. So I just have a go. I'll have a go at anything. I'll have a go at plumbing. I'll have a go at carpentry.
Yeah.
I like the feeling of doing it yourself when I was doing the engine, a mate of mine, David, he gave me a hand at the engine. We actually done it in his workshop.
Yeah.
So he gave me a hand at the engine. And the rest of it then, as I said, Brendan, he retired from work. He was a panel beater, but he can't spray anymore. So he said, I can't. I had asked him, like, would he do it for me? But he said, I have no power in my hands anymore. So he said, I'll come down. I'll be down in the shed with you. I'll guide you through it. And he said, plus he said, I think it'd be great if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
I said, Jesus, Brendan, it's a big. I'm after spending a lot of money. I said, to fuck it up with a paint job, like. And he said, you'll be grand. He goes, you'll be grand. And it worked. And as I said, it's like a few bits of haze and that, but they're on pieces that you can't see. But overall, like, it has depth on it, which I was trying to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And I know now that I can. I've sprayed single pack paint. I hadn't sprayed 2-pack paint before.
Yeah.
But now I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'll have a go. Like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. I have to say the finish looks great.
It's not bad now. I have to say.
Yeah.
I surprised myself.
Pinstripe makes all the difference.
Definitely.
It really does. I say that pinstripe makes all of the difference. It really
I'm lucky. I'm very lucky with that as well. Like, I've good mates now that have seen me write. You know, like, see those pictures on the wall there? I'll show them to you.
Yeah.
Those pictures, like I just WhatsApp Graham, a friend of mine, those pictures, and next thing he just produced these down here one day. They were coming down to my house for a few jars.
Those are pictures taken by Graham?
No. They're pictures from I'll show you now. See that one there?
Yeah.
This car. I was roughly based my car on that, but if you look in the background, there's this one. That yellow one is a TMC Costin as well.
Yeah.
They are the only 2 race cars ever built. You know, the blue one you showed videos of it before.
Yes. That was Peter's car.
That's Val's car. That's actually that car.
Okay.
That is that car. I was yellow when I was out first.
Okay.
The front of it's very similar, you see. And that's this picture then is of the green car, but if you notice, it has no wing here and no wing on the back.
Yeah.
So that was a big improvement. Sean at the time was only meddling with that. He put on the blad here.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's the same car, and they gained so many seconds per lap at that time racing. Yeah. So I loosely, that's where I got my stripe, and I was going to go full on, but I thought no,
I think you did that the right way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just kept it simple to suit. Like, it's my car at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Exactly. You do what you want. Yeah.
And as I said, you have your green, white, and gold, and I just kind of tied it at that. And I left it at that then. And as I said, Graham came up with the idea. He said he came down with a couple of different, like, this is how thought he had put into it. He's in Thurles. He's 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
But he brought down a couple of different thickness of pinstripes, and then we offered it up to the car. And we had 15, 20, and I think it's 10, that is. And we looked. And then with the TMC Costin, then you wouldn't see it unless you're beside the car, but he put a black outline around the TMC and the Costin. So it makes it stand out that bit more.
Yeah.
You know, it's little touches like that. So he came down with a couple of bits. Then he wasn't down for a month, let's say, or whatever. And he brought the stripes. And we done it here one Saturday afternoon. And it was done. It was like, bang, done. You know what I mean? It was great, like. So I've had now good help, like, and as I said, Peter Murphy, he's been over here today with me, just looking and seeing what I had done and for ideas for his car. You know, even though he's at his as well since 2020, he's changed in the look. He's changed in the look of the car. I wanted to keep it original. So he's just you kind of bounce ideas off each other. Exactly. You know, what did you do here and what did you do there, like. But I'm keeping mine original. He isn't. He's just kind of a facelift model, they're calling it, and it's really different. It'll be lovely when it's done. But
and this
for me, it's original. Like,
And you can thank John for sending you the link, and we thank you for replying to the link, because if you're anyone like me, sometimes it's difficult, especially in the cold weather, to get the urge to go out to the shed,
especially into your shed,
and start thrashing around, because
I know, but
you just
to be
get
honest
your
with
feet
you,
in clay.
No, but as I said, I just want to thank you, because, as I said, every little click like this gives you a buzz to get back into it. And you know, when you get into something, I'll be back into it now, and I'll just drive on now, like, because I have all my other little bits and pieces done. So now it's back out into the middle of the shed. It's not pushed in against the wall. And this conversation then it'll bring me on, as you know what I mean. It does help, like, to get you back at it, you know. And it should be done long ago, but as I said, it will be done. It'll be done in the next couple of months, please God.
Every time we just drop in, because it's been a while while we've been running the series on your car and Sean Thompson.
I know. And now, in fairness, I am brutal with this stuff, so I'm doing well.
Yeah. Well, we can every time we drop in, we can see the progress, and it's great. You know, I didn't know about the pinstripes, and your engine's now been fully rebuilt. What have you done with the dash? What have you done with the dash? Is your dash ready to go? And instrument-wise.
Instrument-wise, I have it all, but let's show you now. Let me see now. Can I show you? Basically, where is this? Here, this would have been just a black flat place that would have had a clock in it. So I done a stainless steel plate. Over at the back of the steering wheel, I put 2 clocks. Again, surrounded in stainless. With this is all still dummied up, right?
Okay, yeah.
This is all just dummied up at the minute. I wanted this whole surround will be done in stainless, and I want to center up these into the center and change stuff. Get rid of this. I've new lights. You know, I just want to make that good. Again, you can see all the wiring, but it all is there. I have the cockpit out of it at the minute, passenger seat cockpit, because it's just easier.
How about the upholstery, Billy? What are your plans for that? Are you?
Well, I have the seats made. Yeah, no, I have the seats made. I haven't just taken out of it at the moment.
And what color are they going to be? Black?
Black and grey pinstripe. And grey stitching.
Yeah.
I just kept it simple. They're nice and thick and comfy, to be honest. Some of the seats that were in them were only 2 inches, and they weren't great.
Yeah.
John and I have fiberglass seats.
Yeah. You know about those on a long journey. Yeah,
especially if it's raining.
Yeah, I've got about 2 millimeter padding, like pad things on the back and the bottom, just to keep it so you're not sliding around. But
No, thank you. And plus, these seats don't adjust. So the passenger seat, the back of the passenger seat is thicker than the driver's. So if you're shorter than me, the car basically is set up for me. The seat is built to suit me.
Yeah.
And if you're a bit taller than me, then I just pop out the back of the back seat and slip it down into the. That's it, really. Like, and if you're really tall, then you go with no back seat. No back in it. There'll be nobody else driving it bar me, because I won't trust anybody to drive it anyway.
No. Especially with the amount of time, an effort you put into it. Yeah.
So, but as I said, it's happy enough. Everything is ticking along. I'll have, hopefully by the next little video, we'll have a good bit done. Now I should be done.
Yeah.
The list is short. It's just fiddly bits. And then, of course, you have to do a test run, and that could show up anything with the old axle and stuff. I probably won't rest until I put the Ford axle in this. At the moment, the Chevette one will stay.
Chevette one in there right now.
Yeah, it will stay. But once all my money is done spending on this, I'll probably go and try and get the Ford axle.
Yeah.
And pop shaft and stuff, I'd say. I know I will. I won't rest.
And you won't
have it all.
Because it's already been road registered, you won't have to put that through an IVA test or any. Just need the normal. I actually
have it insured at the minute. My vintage insurance was up in October, and I was kind of conscious of it down here in the shed not being insured.
Yes.
So at least it's insured now for fire and theft. It's insured for the road, but as I said, I'll have to tax it and all, but it has to be finished first. But at least it's insured, so I have a bit of peace of mind at this stage.
No, I
main
just know
thing.
what an enthusiast you are, and you're always smiling when you talk about your car, and I can just see into the future your beaming face when you first are driving that car on the road. You are going to be so pleased.
It'll be my third child now, to be honest with you. That's what it'll be.
Yeah. Well, Billy,
but no, I am. I'm looking forward to getting it finished at this stage. Now it's 4 years now, as I said last week.
Yeah.
So it's enough. It's long enough. It's the longest project I've ever done.
Well, 4 years is typical for most. I mean, I know a lot of people go a lot longer than that. 6-10 years. And people move houses and
Well, I know. Yeah, but as I said, normally 2 would be my average, but this took a lot more money than I've ever spent on anything, to be honest. So it's well, and plus you had to make nearly fucking everything first. It's, not as easy to get like.
Yeah, brilliant.
But I tell you what, I'm if you think of it, send me on. I'm looking for some sort of mirrors for the. I see some kind of kit car mirrors that kind of come off of here. Hold on, it's close down the store. They're coming up on they come up here. Yeah, they're like a squarish. Yeah, I know. Squarish mirrors, and I'm not sure where.
Have you had a look at motorbike mirrors? We've got motorbike ones on ours. I think they're off in Aprilia. They're a little bit more. They might not suit you because they're a bit more modern. They're not square. Ours are kind of like angular. But have a look at some of the bike and also the motorsport mirrors as well. We've got a motorsport mirror on the front, which is a carbon thing. It's like just like a big oblong thing. So motorsport mirrors, and you can get the big massive convex ones as well. Which
the problem with all of them is that you can't see over the rear.
The rear fenders, the rear wood cars.
So unless you're lucky because you've got the right and proper windshield to mount to, and if you can mount it up there, up high. Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything. I have motorcycle mirrors, and I also have a little tiny convex mirror that I mount on it, so I can see a little bit of peripheral vision on top of it. But
this is what I also say on a traditional 7, out of the same as yours, Jim. We've got a fly screen. You can't mount it there, so it's going to be low down. You mount them on where the side scuttle comes down. And I once saw a person posting a picture. Here's my new mirrors are fitted, and I said to them, "Can you actually, when you're sat in the car, can you actually see over the rear wings?"
Wing. No.
And he sat in. He said, "No." I said, "Well, you need to move them up again." So we had to fill all the holes in, re-drill them. So when you're fitting them, just make sure you can see over that. Yeah. Well, the wing on the Costin isn't that massive, is it? Because it's all in one. No. It's all in one as part of the beams, isn't it?
But you can reinforce the fiberglass and put it in, hang it up there. I would think.
Instead, I'm thinking of putting them somewhere here, like you know what I mean. Yeah. They were mounted there, but it's trying to get a nice. Originally, they were mounted here on the door, but you couldn't see one thing. They were just pointless. Yeah, so eventually, I see that blue car, Val Thompson's, that race car. I see it had a nice little black and a nice little. It was nice, tiny little. Yeah. Mirror. So I just have a chat maybe and see where it come out.
You've obviously got the doors fitted, but you're obviously wanting to take the side screens off, on hinges and stuff like that. So you probably you don't want to be fitting them to the windscreen surround. It's just won't work. So probably look at fitting them on your front scuttle, but make sure they're high enough.
Scuttle, but now I'm only at the copper now to be careful because when you open up the bloody door, I'm only at the copper now this second, not to have it too far back.
Yeah,
or I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? Never thought of that. Yeah, but anyway, I learned something new this evening.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to disappear. I'm going to have to leave you to it. But Billy, it was lovely catching up with you. I'm going to actually take a recording of this and share it with my new Irish next door neighbor and ask him if he's been to Wexford.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's a sunny southeast, we call it.
Yeah. Now the thing, and see if he's ever heard of TMC Costin. And he's a young lad, and he drives his Teslas. He got 4 Teslas in his driveway. So,
oh, God.
see,
I don't even want one. Never mind about 4.
No, 3 Teslas and
I'm waiting for the day that some lad in the shade is going to land a Tesla body down over a fucking petrol car chassis.
Yeah.
That's what eventually will happen.
Right.
Anyway, I'm afraid I must run, so I'm going to disappear from the video, and I'll wish
bother.
wish you all the best.
I will catch up again.
All right.
Yeah, great
See you,
to catch up with you, Billy. And just stay on the line. Just stay on the line. Just I'll end the recording, but just stay on the line while we finish the recording.